Through this slidecast, I, Soumya, and my project partner, Sam, wish to highlight a certain type of marginalization on campus, more specifically, discrimination against non-engineering majors here at Tech. Every institution has its own share of problems. While some are easy to spot, others can take a while to be recognized. Unfortunately, Georgia Tech is no different. Looking around campus, we found that there is a significant amount of marginalization against non-engineering majors, which was especially prominent among the upperclassmen. In this slidecast, we shall highlight the forms in which this problem exists and offer some solutions to rectify it. We all are well aware of the fact that Georgia Tech offers some of the most prestigious engineering programs in this country. This creates a community which has a majority of students pursuing engineering majors, and this leads to the others being marginalized. The discrimination causes a rift between the two broad major types, that is, the engineering and non-engineering majors, and the abolition of this rift is essential for the Georgia Tech community to grow stronger. There are different forms in which this discrimination is visible on campus. One of them is how the various engineering majors talk or think about the non-engineering majors. One of the students we interviewed, who was an engineering major, strongly believed that all those pursuing non-engineering degrees had it easier, at least academically. They weren't required to take weed-out classes such as physics and calculus. It was his understanding that this led them to enjoy a much more relaxed lifestyle. Additionally, to substantiate his statement, a business major told us she required just 120 credit hours to graduate, whereas the average engineering degree requires much more. The relatively lighter workload creates a sense of bitterness and jealousy among the engineering majors. This helps explain why a significant number of engineering majors believed that other students were lazier. However, it is important to understand that different degrees have different requirements. Another form of discrimination is the way in which engineering majors perceive and make assumptions about non-engineering majors. Two of the non-engineering majors who we interviewed mentioned that all the other majors feel that they aren't smart enough, that they were dumb. This is just a stereotype and plain wrong. The main root cause for this type of thinking is that engineering majors assume that as their classes are much harder, it provides a self-verification of intelligence, and it leads them to developing a certain amount of ignorance towards the difficulties that others face. What they need to understand is that each subject has its own type of difficulty, which is relative. Through the interviews of our peer leaders, we came to the conclusion that marginalization was predominant amongst the upperclassmen. The PL cited incidents where fellow students made jokes at the expense of non-engineering majors. A possible reason to this is that in our freshman year, we are all required to take core classes which boosts interactions amongst all the different types of majors. These allow students to form opinions on the different schools here at Tech through first-hand experience and not influenced by unreliable sources. However, after their freshman year, most students take major-specific courses leading to a void of communication amongst the different schools. This leads to new opinions being formed which are mostly negative and do not represent the entire non-engineering community. It is quite apparent that most of these issues arise due to a lack of communication between the engineering and non-engineering majors. This problem has in fact a very simple solution: adding more core classes to the senior years, which are already needed as electives in most majors. Implementing more core classes in their senior years will force interaction among different majors here at Tech. This solution easily takes care of the root cause of the problem: ineffective communication. Therefore, as seen in our proposal, the problem of discrimination against non-engineering majors definitely exists on the Tech campus. But this problem also has a very simple solution. Georgia Tech often talks about the importance of communication among the different disciplines. However, this will be helpful only if these exchanges of ideas are positive. More positive interactions will not only help eliminate false stereotypes, but also help the Georgia Tech community to work together and to grow as a whole.